Coming to paperback and e-readers this February, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers this February. A couple of months ago, a viewer of my YouTube channel and a regular reader of my blog donated some money to me to pay for the next cover in the ISIS series. And I took that money and some money I put together from eBay sales, and I paid Bill Walko to design the cover for the upcoming ISIS series book, ISIS Samurai Goddess. And without the support of viewers and readers of my blog, I wouldn't be able to pretty much pay for several of these covers, because it wasn't for those viewers and regular readers of my blog and people who've read my Facebook posts. I wouldn't have been able to get that Kickstarter funded in 2015 to pay for the two covers for ISIS Night of Vampires and East Team Undercover in that Kickstarter, and I wouldn't have been able to pay for the support of viewers and readers of my blog. I wouldn't be able to pretty much pay for several of these covers, because it wasn't for those viewers and regular readers of my blog and people who've read my Facebook posts. I wouldn't have been able to get that Kickstarter funded in 2015 to pay for the two covers for ISIS Night of the Vampires and East Team Undercover in that Kickstarter, and I wouldn't have been able to pay for the cover for ISIS Samurai Goddess. A lot of people know that I've been out of work for the past 8 years, and in order for me to pay for book covers, I have to either do things like Kickstarters to fundraise or get donations, or I have to go out here and do things like sell things in my personal toy collection in order to raise the money to get the money to pay for these book covers. And I'm partially coming out of my pocket and these donations to do this, because I really want to present positive images of African Americans for African Americans to have, because there aren't that many positive images of African Americans and African American media out here these days, and so that kids can have, positive stories to read featuring African American characters. Now, I've heard some really bad things about donations when it comes down to the black community, especially with some of these pro-blacks, like your Dr. Omar Johnson. Now, your Dr. Omar Johnson got over $500,000 to start a school. And a couple of years later, we see that this school has not been built or even broken ground. And this man has had this $500,000 for about, I'd say, about 2 or 3 years now. And I also heard about a documentary that was supposed to be made that never got made, in spite of all of this money, being raised. And really, that takes advantage of people. And I heard about this other female, I made a couple videos about her taking all of this money from people in a GoFundMe and pretty much taking advantage of people. And I look at these examples, and it's really sad when I see them, because these people make it hard for guys like me who actually do take the money that I get from people and use it towards paying for things like book covers and presenting actual products to people. Because after I did that Kickstarter in 2015, I took all of that money and I paid for those book covers, one, and two, I took the rest of that money and paid for those rewards and pretty much sent those rewards to that donor, and they got their books. I pretty much did what I said I was going to do, and I followed through with my promises. And I have itemized receipts right there in my computer that I can show people of all the bills that I paid for those items, how much they cost, and a whole list of receipts to show people what was paid for with that money. And that's how transparent I am when I get donations from people. I believe that, these people are coming out of their hearts, they're coming out of their kindness, and they want to see a better quality of life in their black community. And it's not right for people to go out here and exploit them and take advantage of them and take their money and give them nothing. Because, these people work hard for this money, and when you work hard for money, you want to see something come out of it. Because I know how hard it is, the value of a dollar is, because I've been out of work, for 8 years. I was out of work before then, and I was living on $60 a month, and I know how hard it is to get money together to do things that you want to do, and I know that it takes money to do things that you want to do. And for me, people's money is not something I use to go out here and buy expensive clothes or expensive shoes This shirt I'm wearing right now, this shirt is, what is it, 16 years old, going on 17 years old. And that's how much I believe in what I do, because I believe in, if you take money from people, you need to give them something in return for that money, because these people are trusting you to give the community something. When you donate money to people, you should be providing them with something tangible in return. And, I don't want to break anybody's trust. And this is one of the things that means a lot to me, because I have integrity. And part of my integrity is, if somebody gives me money to do something with, I go out here and do it. Because when I was working in nonprofit back in the 2000s, they talked about that when I was working in Strive, that when you have somebody give you a donation, you're supposed to take that money and actually go out here and use it towards what you have to use it for, because you have to show those people what you're doing. That shows integrity in your program. It shows integrity towards yourself, and it shows people that you are serious and passionate about what you're doing, because people who truly care are not just going to take your money and then give you nothing in return. It's really sad that I see all these, black guys out here. They're taking the dollars, and some of these black females taking your money and giving you nothing in return with GoFundMe's, Kickstarters, and all these other hustle, and using them as hustles instead of trying to use them to legitimately springboard a business like I am. Now with the SJS Direct Imprint, I'm trying to use every donation that I do get to pretty much pay for these book covers, because a lot of people, they complained for years, oh, this book cover looks bad. This book cover is the reason why I'm not buying this book. And I went out here and I took, again, when I first started out, when my first Kickstarter failed, I took my own money that I got from eBay auctions to pay for the first cover for the Cyber Goddess book. And then later on for the Kickstarter, I took the money that was donated then, and I paid for that, and I paid for the books as the rewards. And when the third Kickstarter failed, I then took more money that I got from more toy sales to pay for the Bride of Dracula cover. And then after I got the donation, I paid for this Samurai Goddess cover, because, again, I believe in creating positive images of African Americans. I really believe in my mission. I believe in the goals that I want to pursue, which is creating positive stories about the African American experience, broadening people's view of the African American culture, and presenting a positive picture of African Americans for African Americans. And because I believe in that mission so strongly, I invest my own money in addition to monies that are donated to me, and I appreciate every donation that I got, and I value it so much that I actually go out here, and if the money is short, again, I take money from eBay sales to continue to pay for them, and to get to follow things through, because I believe that strongly, and I say, if these people believe in me that much, then I have to add something to it. I mean, I believe like this: if they're standing by me, I have to stand by them. And when I see these guys coming out here taking donation money and giving people nothing in return, that really aggravates me, because these people work hard for that money, and when you've been out of work for a long time, you understand the value of a dollar, because every dollar that you get pretty much is going to help you get through that next day. And when you've been living on $60 a month for a couple of years, you pretty much, again, understand the value of that dollar, and you understand the value of every dollar you get, because every dollar is going to help you get through that next day and help you try to persevere towards achieving whatever goal you want to achieve. And when I look at these guys like your Omar Johnson, who get $500,000, and they take the money and then don't give anybody anything, it's just reprehensible and egregious to me. And it really, it really burns me up to see these guys take this money and give no one anything in return for it, because it makes it harder for guys like me who try to go out here and take what little we have and what little we do get, to try to help out our own community and try to help people, move their lives forward. And, the money is a resource, and when you abuse people, you prevent people from being able to help others. And there are people who have real serious, legitimate cases, and they can't be heard because people hear rumors about these guys like your Umar Johnson, who go out here, get $500,000, and then don't go out here and do what they say they're going to do. It really prevents other people who like myself, who have, are serious about what they're doing, from being able to move ahead and being able to get support from the community, because they've seen somebody else in the community like this, take people's money and give them nothing in return. Now, ISIS Samurai Goddess will be available in paperback and e-readers in February, and many of the other ISIS series books that I have produced, such as the ones that were part of the Kickstarter, are on Amazon.com right now. And if you pick one up, you will be helping me out along